Beat it all together until it's nice and smooth. Kind of have to mush it a little bit. This is 2 pounds of ricotta for 2 eggs. So the rule is an egg per pound of ricotta. This ricotta is so fresh that it's a little bit drier than you might get in the grocery store. I'm going to add some spinach to the ingredients. That's optional. My grandmother always did. She added spinach because it stretched the ricotta and she could make more ravioli for the amount of ricotta. Let's get started on the pasta. Flour and eggs. I've already measured out 2 cups of flour, but it's not a precise thing. If you do 2 1/4 cups or 2 1/2 cups, it's just fine. It also depends on the temperature. If it's a humid day, you might need a little extra flour because it gets a little moist. But I've got 2 cups of flour here, more or less. I'm just going to dump it out on the counter. If you're not going to use your counter, just make sure it's a surface that's really dry and clean. I'm going to use my 1 cup measuring cup and make a little divot in the flour. I'll push the flour up. That's where I'm going to drop the eggs. 3 eggs. Take your trusty fork and start beating those eggs together. And while you're doing that, just watch me. Make sure the flour keeps it all contained. It's still pretty wet, so you want to keep using the fork, and you can, if it gets to the point where you can start flipping the bottom over and then pushing the flour onto it, that's great. That's where you want to be. Don't worry about being tidy about this. See, it's starting to form into a ball. So I'm pushing the flour under it, encouraging it to solidify itself. And at this point, it's almost dry enough. I'm just touching it lightly with my fingertips to test how damp it is. Anyone who's baked bread before will recognize this process. I'm just pushing out from the sides, incorporating some flour as I go, and making sure that I get it good and even on all sides. This ball of dough is ready. See, it's consolidated. It's still got some cracks in it, but it's a good, firm, solid piece of dough. First thing you want to do is dust it with a little bit of that rice flour. This will give it a chance to get that last little bit of moisture absorbed. Put it under a plastic container. I don't know why, but a plastic container always seems to work best for me. I've got a few dough balls here that I made earlier. Here's one. Let's take a look at this one. See the difference in the color, the consistency? Oh, and the aroma. That smells like good pasta. So first thing you want to do, cut it in half. On that part that you've just cut, get some flour on there, rub it on, and smush it back into a ball. And put it back under the container. And on the other half that you're going to work, do the same. Work it into a ball.